Good morning, everyone. Day 22, I think. Up on the trail, 6:30 this morning. Going over two mountains today, Mount Lafayette and Mount Lincoln in the presidentials here shortly. Got Mount Washington, that's the main peak. That's tomorrow. After that, it's less than that. I think Washington's up over 6,000 feet. Then I really start coming down out of the whites. Not down, down's a relative term, but making good time. The goal is to do 15 today. That's why I'm out early. A little later than I wanted, but stuff rolling out this morning. Supposedly up Washington, once you get over Mount Washington, that 15-mile stretch after you're down off the mountain and then just walking across, it's probably the easiest section in the whites. So should be able to make some pretty good mileage tomorrow. We'll see. 10-mile days, nah, I don't see that. In these mountains, I've been going up over 5,000 feet every day. Well, between 4 and 5. And 10-mile day is not a chance. No problem doing 15. So the one guy I talked to saying I could do 12 to 15 a day, yeah, that's more reasonable. So I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. Body's holding up great. These inserts, these soles. I don't know, what do you call them? Insoles, I guess they're called. These things are fantastic. They're just a miracle that I just found them. I wish I'd have known about them before. I'll never hike without them again. What else? I think that's about it for this morning. Sorry about yesterday, not many views. I mean, the only time there were any views or anything to see was on top of the mountain. A few streams and brooks and stuff, but nothing spectacular. So this is just go uphill. The reason why I hiked so long last night, there was just no place to stay. I overextended, I guess. And the problem is going up here, you know, you can see the terrain is, you can't sleep on that. And that's the way it is all the way up. So you really have to get to a campsite. And up here in the mountains, they charge you $10 to stay at the campsite. It's $10 for the first one, and then $5 every time you stay at one of the campsites. So that's why I'm going 15 today. I get up and over. There's a campsite on the other side, down near the bottom of the next ridge. About 15 miles. I'm going to stay there. And no more of this night hiking. I don't do night hiking anyway. I don't like it. It's dangerous. It wears on your battery and your headlamp. Good thing I got a rechargeable. I recharged it last night. But it's just too many things can go wrong. So that's the last time I night hike unless I really get in trouble. I need to make sure I get to where I plan on going. These in-between miles sort of suck. So I got to get up and down every day. And if I can do that, I'm good. And leaving 6:30 is key to that. So anyway, day 22, I will see you later. So I was talking about Mount Lafayette, Mount Lincoln. I guess it's not really, they're not really, I mean, they're all mountains, but I'm on what you call the Franconia Ridge. So there's, I think, 4 peaks along this ridge line. So instead of going up, down, up, down, up, down, once you get up here, you just stay on the ridge line over all of those peaks. So there's some up, down, but not as drastic like climbing 4,000 feet for every mountain. So this is called the Franconia Ridge, and from what I understand, it's supposed to be really gorgeous up here. So So hopefully we'll get some good pictures. Up here a ways. So this is where I stopped to eat breakfast. Good little spot. Okay, here's the other side that I couldn't get earlier because it was all foggy, cloudy. I hope you can hear me, it's pretty windy up here. Still gotta go over there, over that ridge right there. Pretty good views. Came from up there. No, we don't need to make a trail. Let's just have them walk right down the riverbed. Lovely. Hey folks, end of day 22, I think. Yeah, pretty tough climb today. It was cool to be up on that ridge. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know, it's hard to say. That ridge, you went over 8 or 9 peaks. and it was up, down, up, down. Granted, I wasn't going down 3,000-4,000 feet, but it was just all rocks and climbing. This is not a trail. This is a freaking rock scramble. At least up here in the Whites. It's like this place I had to come down there. Well, you saw the video of coming down the riverbank, or the river. Just coming down the riverway, all those boulders and stuff, and we had to come down them, and it's wet, so it's shaky. But there was one below it that I stood up on top of, like, how the hell am I supposed to get down? It was like where a waterfall had been, and the water had been running over the rock for years and years, and now there's no water there, so you got this big hump. It goes all the way down. It's like there's no way to get down. I mean, there's little nooks and crannies here and there. So basically what I ended up doing, I slid my poles down because I was holding on to my poles, and I got down on my butt and just scooted all the way down, because there was no way. All I would have done, try to walk down that thing once, and one slip and you're rolling all the way down. So I literally got on my butt and butt scooted all the way down, finding just little nooks and crannies to stick my heels in, just to give me some sort of control. And I'm still, so after all those up downs, it was like a roller coaster. It was like woo, woo, this and that, and it was cold, and the wind was blowing in the clouds. So the very few views that I got, I took as much video and picture as I could of it, but you couldn't see all day. I had to put my raincoat on because the wind was so bad. It was cold wind. So it finally started coming down, and of course I go off trail again. And the way the trail went, they had a big sign there, and the sign was pointing the wrong way. So I go, okay, I go down this way. Well, I'm walking, and it's all downhill. Now I'm walking downhill, and I'm like, man, I haven't seen a white blaze in a while. So I pull out the map, and sure enough, I'm like 0.6 miles off trail. So I start looking around. There's a blue blaze on this trail. So yeah, I walk all the way back up this mountain, this hill. Wasn't that bad. I mean, it was 0.6, but still more than half a mile all the way downhill. And this is that. It's really steep. So I'm trudging back up this place I went. And there were guys sitting at the trailhead where it split off. He goes, oh yeah, I did that yesterday. I did a 0 today. I did that yesterday. And we got up there, we tried to turn the sign, and we couldn't really do it. It looks like, I'm not sure what happened, but the sign, the post got turned, and I don't know. So I bet a lot of people go down that way. So anyway, I made it down, found a stealth place. And so here's the deal with the campsites. You can stay at the shelters, but when you're in the Whites, you have to pay $10 to stay at the shelters. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. If I'm willing to pay for a stinking hotel every once in a while, I can pay $10 for a campsite. Well, all I got is 20s. They don't do change. You got to put it in a box. And I'm like, you're telling me, because they have caretakers at each one of these campsites, to collect the money and make sure everybody's paying and all that stuff. He goes, no, I don't have change. He says, you got to have exact change or put whatever you want in there. Over $10. I'm like, I only got a 20. I'm not giving you a $20 bill to stay at these campsites when you're just, all you're doing is charging me to find a piece of dirt up here to lay on. So I came down the trail about another 1.5 miles, and I found a sweet level area that has no growth. And it's obvious people come down here and camp. So I found a really good, sweet spot, set up my tent, hung my bareback, good to go. And it's early enough that I'm not trudging around in the dark, because the next shelter is almost 5 miles away, and the odds of that guy having change are slim too. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to stealth all the way. I'm not gonna give him $20 to pitch my tent. It's utterly ridiculous. I'm in the freaking wilderness and I gotta pay $10 to pitch my tent. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But apparently, so I got about a 4-mile uphill tomorrow. And somebody wrote on Gut Hooks that the next 13 miles after that peak is probably the easiest hike in all of the Whites, and maybe even on freaking whole AT, he said. He said it's just rolling, no rocks. It's almost flat most of the way, almost 13 miles. And it leads right up into the Presidentials. Presidentials are the mountain range that in the Whites that are named after all the presidents, with the culmination of Mount Washington, which is over 6,000 feet. So tomorrow night I should be at the Presidentials. I only made 10 miles today, 10.6, with that little offshoot and all this up, down, climbing down these rocks, all that kind of stuff. I just couldn't go anymore, and it's late. It got late fast, so I'm not gonna get caught again, and I don't even know what's below me. They don't, even if I made it to the next shelter, I gotta climb another mountain to get to that shelter, and I don't even know if I'm gonna stay there because I gotta pay $20 if I don't have a $10 bill. So I'm good right where I'm at. So I only did 10 miles, but tomorrow, if I got 4 miles to go up the mountain, and then it's a gradual and just another 13, it could be a good day. It says you can make really good miles on this section of the Whites, so hopefully maybe I can make up for some today with a leisurely stroll tomorrow. So anyway, Whites, Whites. Ugh. I knew this was coming. And I'm still, it's like you can't do anything about it. Man, even the seasoned guys, or the guys that got, they're almost finished, and they're complaining and moaning and groaning about some of these trails. So anyway, I guess that's my story. Nothing much else. Hope you like the views today. Sorry there wasn't more. And I did a little video of me walking down some of the harder stuff, but I didn't take pictures of the really hard stuff because I was too worried about falling, and I needed both hands. So anyway, I need to get a good GoPro that works instead of that piece of crap I had. I don't know, maybe it was just, I'm wondering if it was refurbished and they stuck it in a new box. I don't know, because it had lots of issues. One of those GoPros where you stick it on your strap and you just record while you're walking around and all that kind of stuff, so you can see what it's actually like going down some of this stuff. So anyway, I just spent the last 2 minutes ranting. So anyway, that's my story. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I think tomorrow's day 23. So anyway, that's it. Good night.